Welcome back to the Vibe Podcast. My name is Diana, and I'm the creator and the host of this lovely, lovely indie podcast show, Epic. As a writer, this is epic. As a person, though, going through it, I realize who are my real supporters, you know? I have supporters, I have fake supporters, but going through this challenging time that I'm going through that I can't even speak about, um, lets me know who's been like at my corner for real, for real. And that's been my mom, my children, and my mother. Unfortunately, my mother passed away in October. And it's been real ever since. As if the last 4 years have not been traumatic enough. This happens. And it's all a lesson, I feel like, for me personally, and what I have to fall back on are my books. And so when I'm like, I don't know what to do, I just rely on my books for several reasons: education, comfort, and also entertainment. So, the book of the hour is He's Just Not That Into You. This was a book that I was going to present on the Vibe podcast, and I'm glad that I'm doing it now. Even though we are on hiatus, what hiatus means to me is taking a break from work because podcasting can be a lot of work. And so I've taken a break from that and rather shifted into more of therapy, what makes me happy. And so sharing my story on all these platforms make me happy. Reading books makes me happy. So the book of the hour is, ladies and gentlemen, he's just not that into you. Sometimes, especially us girls, we need to understand that he's just not that into me or you. And I feel like guys do a great job at giving us signals, but us as ladies, for whatever the reason, we we don't take these signals, we don't listen to the red flags and stuff like that. We give them excuses after excuses instead of just accepting that perhaps he's just not that into you. So I got this book many, many, many years ago as a self help book, trying to get over my beloved ex. But where I fucked up is I kept dating. And you can't do that. You can't be dating with a broken heart. You are going to get hurt. You're going to get in some shit. And it's going to be probably worse than the relationship you just broke up from. At least that has been my experience. So this time around, what I did was I chose not to date. And in February, I'm going to be making 5 years celibate. And I've chosen to, rather than go out because it's been almost 5 years, right? I've chosen to honor my celibacy until the fifth year. And then after that, I'm going to go looking for Cameron, Killer Cam, to be my baby's daddy. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But I'm saying, it's been 5 years or going to be 5 years. So after the 5 year mark, I'm gonna start dating like on purpose to see what the fuck is that, what is going on out here in these streets. Because there was a very real reason why I chose not to date in the first place. So now after 5 years, I'm gonna see what's going on out in these streets. I might bump into Killer Cam, I might not. Who knows? But we're going to see after 5 years. And so this is a great self-help book in understanding that perhaps he's just not that into you. It's nothing there's no it's no science behind it other than he's probably not into you like that. And this book goes into great detail. It says here in the back, for ages, women have come together over coffee, cocktails, or late night phone chats to analyze the puzzling behavior of men. Greg Behrendt and Liz Tuccillo are here to say that despite good intentions, you're wasting your time. Men are not complicated, although they'd like you to think they are, and there are no mixed messages. The truth may be he's just not that into you. Based on a popular episode of Sex and the City, He's Just Not That Into You educates otherwise smart women on how to tell when a guy just doesn't like them enough so they can stop wasting time making excuses for a dead end relationship. This newly expanded edition includes a new foreword by Greg, a new chapter providing an honest look at the stages of life after he's just not that into you. According to Liz, exaltation, loneliness, temptation, and balance. Greg and Liz's answers to the most frequently asked questions from readers. Wow, let's get into the book. He's just not that into you. So the book gives different examples of ladies and gentlemen in the dating game. All right. Says here the maybe I don't want to play games excuse. Dear Greg, this is dumb. I know you're not supposed to call guys, but I call guys all the time because I don't care. I don't want to play games. I do whatever I want. I've called guys tons of times. You're such a square, Greg. Why do you think we can't call guys and ask them out? Nikki. And that's kind of been I feel like the situation um in general. You have females, Miss Independent, wanting to be the one to ask the guy out, take the guy out, stuff like that. Me, I'm not like that. I fall back. I um I might have been like that at some point in my life. But no, I fall back. I feel like if the guy is truly interested, he will make a way to reach out to me. Okay. I don't need to be the one calling the guy. I don't know. I'm not Miss Independent like that. Says here, Dear Nikki, because we don't like it. Okay, some guys might like it, but they're just lazy. And who wants to go out with a lazy guy? It's that simple. I didn't make the rules and I might not even agree with them. Please don't be mad at me, Nikki. I'm not advocating that women go back to the Stone Age. I just think you might want to be realistic in how capable you are of changing the primordial impulses that drive all human nature. Or maybe you're the chosen one. Yeah, because men like that conquistador. They like to be the one to get you, usually. I know that there's some guys that probably, you know, don't they probably would accept a phone call from a female, but usually men do the calling. All right. Men, for the most part, like to pursue women. We like not knowing if we can catch you. We feel rewarded when we do, especially when the chase is a long one. We know there was a sexual revolution. We loved it. We know women are capable of running governments, heading multinational corporations, and raising loving children, sometimes all at the same time. That, however, doesn't make men different. It's so simple. Imagine right now that I'm leaping up and down and shaking my fist at the sky. I'm on my knees pleading with you. I'm saying this in a loud voice. Please, if you can't trust one thing I say in this book, let it be this. When it comes to men, deal with us as we are, not how you'd like us to be. I know it's an infuriating concept that men like to chase you and you have to let us chase you. I know. It's insulting. It's frustrating. It's unfortunately the truth. My belief is that if you have to be the aggressor, if you have to pursue, if you have to do the asking out, 9 times out of 10, he's just not that into you, and we want you to believe you're one of the nine, ladies. I can't say it loud enough. You, the super fox reading this book, are worth asking out. That's right. I'm worth it. Very much so. Here's Why This One Is Hard by Liz. Well, it's obvious. Are you telling us that we have to just sit around and wait? I don't know about you, but I find that infuriating. I was brought up to believe that hard work and good planning are the keys to making your dreams come true. I spent my life making things happen for myself. I worked hard for my career and was quite aggressive about it. I called people, made appointments, asked for favors. I took action. But now Greg is telling us that in this situation, we're supposed to do absolutely nothing. The guys get to pick. We're just supposed to put on our little dresses and do our hair and bat our eyes and hope they choose us. Why don't you just tie my corset too tight so I can faint in front of some man who'll scoop me out of the way just before the horse drawn carriage runs over me? That'll get his attention. Really, in this day and age, the hardest thing to do for many women, particularly me, is nothing. We like to scheme, make phone calls, have a plan, and I'm talking about more than just making sure our hair doesn't frizz. Most women who date, I would guess, don't have men throwing themselves at them every night of the week. Sometimes there's a long stretch during which nobody's asking us out. So when we see a guy that we feel might be a romantic possibility, it's even harder for us to take a back seat. That opportunity might not come back again for a long time. But guess what? My way has sucked, hasn't worked at all. I've never had a successful relationship with a guy that I've pursued. And guess what? Me neither. Me neither. And my case is very different. I've given guys opportunities, and I'm saying guys that I normally would not date. I've given opportunities only to be hurt by these people. So the lesson that I have learned this time around is understanding he might not be that into me. He's just not that into you. And also, if I'm not that into them, don't do it. Don't do it. If your heart is not in it, don't do it. Not even for a booty call. Don't do it. If your heart is not in it, don't do it. That's the lesson that I learned. I'm sure there are many stories out there to the contrary, but for me, those guys end up getting back together with their ex girlfriend, needing to take some time for themselves, or going out of town for business. Usually, it doesn't even get that far. They usually don't ever return my phone call, and let me tell you, that didn't make me feel very, very in control of anything. Since I've been implementing Greg's handy dandy, he's just not that into you philosophy, I've been feeling surprisingly more powerful. Because if the men are asking you out, if the men have to get your attention, then you, in fact, are the one in control. There's no scheming and plotting, and there is something great about knowing that my only job is to be as happy as I can be about my life and feel as good as I can about myself, and to lead as full and eventful life as I can, so that it doesn't ever feel like I'm just waiting around for some guy to ask me out. Yeah, I continue doing what I'm doing. I'm not sitting around and waiting, but I'm just playing the role of a lady here for 5 years. And, I'll continue playing that role if I have to. But I do wonder about the dating pool. How is it now? Okay. Says here, and most importantly, it's good for us all to remember that we don't need to scheme and plot and beg to get someone to ask us out. To ask us out. Yeah, we're fantastic. Hello. I don't need a plan or a plot, a scheme, nothing. I know that I'm worth it. All right. So this is what it should look like by Greg. One night I was drinking in a bar and flirting with the bartender. I asked for her number and she said, I don't give out my phone number because guys rarely call me when they say they're going to. My name is Lindsay Adams, and if you want to call me, find my phone number, which I did the very next day. Do you know how many Lindsay Adamses there are in the phone book of a major city? Let's just say I talked to about 8 or 9 before I found mine. An actor we work with met a girl while he was making a public appearance on an aircraft carrier. He lost track of her in about 10 minutes, and yet because he was so smitten, he somehow managed to track her down in the army, and they are now married. That's kind of like what I'm looking for, like a love story. Steamy love story. Greg, I Get It by Leslie, age 29. Greg, I get it. I went to this party and I met this guy. We started talking immediately by ourselves off in a corner. He asked if I was single and seemed pleased when I said I was. Whenever we split up to talk to other people or to get drinks or whatever, he always kept his eye on me. It was really cool. I was all excited and fluttery with that, oh my God, I think I just met someone feeling. He didn't ask for my number, but we know lots of people in common, so I thought he was just playing it cool. He never called me, and you know what? Normally, I would call our mutual friends and start fishing and trying to figure out what happened and maybe try to find another way to see him again. But instead, I'm just going to move on. Who cares what his deal is? He's not asking me out, so why should I start obsessing over him? I'm just going to go out tonight and try to meet someone else. Mm, that's going to be me after February 2026. Says here, if you don't believe Greg, we did an incredibly unscientific poll where we polled 20 of our male friends ranging from ages 26 to 45 who are in serious long-term relationships. Not one of their relationships started with the woman asking them out first. One guy even said that if she had, it would have spoiled the fun. Mm-mm-mm. So what should we have learned in this chapter? An excuse is a polite rejection. Men are not afraid of ruining the friendship. Mm, that one hit me. That one was for me, I feel like. Don't get tricked into asking him out. If he likes you, he'll do the asking. Ladies, I know you miss independent, but let the man ask you out. At least just one. Give it a try. If you can find him, then he can find you. If he wants to find you, he will. Okay? Just because you like to lead doesn't mean he wants to dance. Some traditions are born of nature and last through time for a reason. I'm into gender role. I want to be treated like a lady. I want to conduct myself like a lady, but I also want to meet a man who's manly. Hey, let's meet at so and so's party. Any bar friend's house is not a date, even if you live in New York. Hello. Men don't forget how much they like you, so put down the phone. You are good enough to be asked out. You don't have to be the one to be chasing. You don't have to be that person. Okay, so they also have like workbook type material in this book, which is really really good, especially when it comes to dating. Um yeah, so it says here our super good, really helpful workbook. I love the comedy in this book too. It says, "Hey, what's a self-help tome without a workbook? Our chapters will all be so brave and wise that we want to make sure you retain as much of the brilliance as you can. So for all of you who feel the need to get out of your problems and into your crayon box, have at it. Love, Greg and Liz." Remember in grade school how they told you not to write in your textbook? Screw that. Grab a pen and list 5 reasons why you think you have every right or good reason to call him. That's for the Miss Independent. Write down 5 reasons why you think it's okay to be the one to call the guy up. Write it write it down and read it out loud. I don't think it's okay to call the guy up. I feel like if the guy is interested in me, he will contact me. He will. Put the book aside and wait an hour or at least 10 minutes. Then ask yourself, do I seem pathetic? Do I sound like someone who doesn't trust my own innate hotness? Hello. Do you know how hot I am? Caliente. Muy caliente. All right? Yes, you do. Now put your dialing finger away, get out of the house and go find some fun. P.S. You just did a workbook exercise about a guy who hasn't even extended to you the energy of a phone call. Why would you want to chase that down? Hello. And we will close with that one. Chapter 2, we'll talk about he's just not that into you if he's not calling you. And so this book had also inspired me to create events, something like speed dating. I have done speed dating in the past with New York City firemen, muy caliente, and I wanted to do that for the Vibe podcast, but unfortunately, I guess it was too caliente, muy caliente too. It was actually it got dangerous for me. I've been stalked, robbed, harassed, bullied, fired, mysteriously end up without a job just because I'm trying to share my story, create events for all, and stuff like that. So after losing everything, I came to the decision I can't do events, I can't do interviews without security. People need to be screened before I engage with them because it's something about me that attracts bullies and abusers and I don't know what it is, but it hasn't been safe for me. So we said no, no events. But I will read this book on the podcast. He's just not that into you. It's a great book. Thank you all for tuning in. Peace. Enjoy the vibe.